still have things in there that I have bought and convinced myself Spanx will sort it out. Spanx doesn't sort it out. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have something very different for my channel, and if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I've been saying in my recent videos that I would like to start doing some fashion videos, some clothing videos, some clothing haul videos, and that is because if you've been following me, you will know that I have been on a weight loss journey. I am finally starting to feel that little bit better about myself. I am ordering quite a few pieces to come back into my wardrobe and try and fill up the gaps. There's things that are still in there that are never going to fit me again. There's things that just don't suit me anymore. There's other things that are still far too big, and I just look completely drowned in them. So I'm trying to bring my wardrobe back together to get it to a point where I'm actually happy with what I'm wearing and I feel good about what I'm wearing. And I think that's the most important thing about clothes, about fashion, about handbags, accessories, about everything, about why we do this and why most of us love this, is because we want to feel good. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I put myself together in the morning, whenever I put my outfits on, my clothes on, I spray my perfume, I want to feel good about myself. I want to walk out that door feeling good about myself, and that was one of the things that I struggled with most whenever I put so much weight on. I just did not feel comfortable at all. I did not feel like I looked well. It didn't even really matter objectively what I did look like. I just didn't feel like I looked happy with myself. I didn't feel good, and when you don't feel good about what you're leaving the house in, for me anyway, that can have a huge impact on how I feel for the rest of the day. So I do have some videos coming where quite a lot of things have arrived and I will show you what I've been buying, what I've been filling my wardrobe up, and how I'm going to style those. But what I'm going to start with today is the 10 tips that I have for how to just look that little bit better and how to feel that little bit better whenever you're going out of the house. And really, to be honest, these have came from when I did put so much weight on. I used to be quite lucky that I was generally a UK size 10. I never really deviated from that. I could wear pretty much most of the things I wanted to wear, and roughly whatever I would put on, within reason, I would know what not to buy, but what I would put on would generally look quite good. And then all of a sudden I piled on 3 stone and everything looked terrible, and I just felt awful. And I picked up a few tips along the way as to how to feel that little bit better when you are going out, and I thought I would bring those with you today. I have just also this outfit that I'm wearing. This is a dress by Ted Baker. I have just tried to film my first Instagram reel, first ever reel. It was a bit of crack, but let me tell you, it is harder than I thought it was. But that is on my Instagram at Amelia Rose's Closet if you'd like to check that out. I would love some feedback on ideas of how I can maybe try and make them better. So the first tip that I have for you, and it is part of the outfit that I'm wearing and the reel that I'm showing, and it's to bring in your waist. Whenever I was recently down in Chanel and I bought the jumper, the first Chanel jumper that I bought, I kept pulling it down, and Jeanette, who I would work with in Chanel, was standing behind me, and she stopped pulling that down, and she was right. I kept trying to cover myself up and pull the jumper down, but whenever she lifted it up and actually brought my waist in, it looked that much better. So the first tip that I have is not to be scared about showing your shape and to bring your waist in. Dresses like these can sometimes come with their own little belts like these little fabric wraparound belts that you can wear. They don't add any cost obviously to the outfit, but for me generally they don't really work. They don't really do anything for me, they don't really show my shape, and they definitely don't make me feel better in what I'm wearing. So for the vast majority of things that I would order that has their own kind of belt, it generally comes off, and I don't even keep it most of the time. And you can put any belt with this. This is a Dior belt that I got as a Christmas present. It doesn't have to be designer. The belt that I had before this, and I actually still wear with my jeans, was this one, which is a belt from Oasis here in the UK. And I would have worn that the same way that I wore this before my friend bought me this one for Christmas. And it just brings your waist in, it brings it in to make your shape look better, it accentuates your smaller part, and it can just add, these little bits of detail can just add something to break up the length of the dress and to break up the blackness. And I felt for me this was something that just made me feel and look a little bit better. Certainly bringing in the waist is something that I would say to have a look at. Number 2 for me was my hairline. Now when I put on a lot of weight, I also in the middle of that time had children, and when I had my children, I've always had thin hair. I don't have the best hair. I have quite a lot of it, but it's very, very thin. And when I lost both of my children, I lost a huge amount of hair after the birth. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really, really struggled with that. I found it very, very difficult. And you can still see if I put my hair up, you can still see the big gaps that are in them. Now, I have ordered, if anybody watches Shea Whitney, I have ordered the serum that she uses, which is meant to be a magic serum and helps your hair regrow. Now, I've paid for it myself. It's not sponsored, it's not gifted. I haven't been using it yet long enough to give you a realistic view as to whether or not I think it's good and whether or not it's something I would recommend that you buy. But when I have been using that for a long time, I will let you know. In the meantime, what I do is I wear my hair to make me feel better. I wear my hair to cover the problem areas, and my problem areas are these big bald patches that came from my wonderful children. And that's why in my videos you will generally see my hair down all the time, because it doesn't highlight these areas. When I do have to wear my hair up, a tip that I use is one that came from one of Shea Whitney's very, very old videos, and I will actually colour the gaps in with eyeshadow. And I know that sounds daft, but it actually works. So if I put my hair up and I have these white bits, I will get a dark brown or a whatever colour my hair is at the time and fill them in with eyeshadow and just fill in that gap, and it just makes it look a bit better, makes your hairline look a bit more solid, and helps cover the parts where you can clearly see the scalp coming through. Number 3 is a styling tip that I swear by in autumn and winter, and it is to add some colour. Most people in autumn and winter will shy away from colour, and a lot of people will add their neutrals and their brown tones and their autumny orangey coloured tones to their outfits. I find that to step my outfit up a bit and to just make it stand out a bit and to make it that little bit more interesting is to add a pop of colour. Now, this I could wear autumny tones with, but I could also add this little beauty. Now again, it doesn't have to be designer, and long before I had designer bags, I was still adding colour to my outfits. But if you add in something that has a little bit of colour, it will set your outfit aside from a lot of other people's. It will just add that little bit of brightness and that little bit of excitement to it, and in my opinion, just make you feel good about what you're wearing, because this is just adding the interest and just spicing it up a little bit. Number 4 is one that I have struggled with so much, and it is to dress for your size. Dress for your size. Dress for your shape. I really struggled with this. When I put the weight on, I was still dressing as if I was smaller, and it looked awful. When I started to lose the weight, I was still dressing as I was bigger, and I was drowning myself in these huge sack-like things that my husband would be saying, really, you know, you're doing all this work to try and lose this weight and you're lost in there. But to me, I wanted to hide behind the reams and reams of fabric. I am by no means slim. I am not skinny. I am not the normal type of person that you will probably see doing a lot of clothing videos on YouTube. I would be between a UK size 12 and a 14. This dress is a UK size 12 and this fits me perfectly. Some clothing lines, some labels just are that little bit tighter, and I need to go up to a 14 to have that little bit more comfort and that little bit more room. Just because the number goes up on the label in the inside, don't worry about that, because generally in those labels, whenever things are tight, when I go to the bigger size, it looks much better. It looks much better. When things are too tight or you're coming out of them, doesn't look good. When things are too big and you're drowned within them and you can't see your shape, also doesn't look good. So I would say dress for your shape and dress for your size of what you actually are now, and not like me, what I used to be or what I used to be or what I was or what I was trying to get away from, because quite often you'll look better and you'll feel better. Number 5, and this might be controversial for some people, and it is to put something on your face. Now, I'm not saying makeup. You do not have to wear makeup. Personally, I feel more comfortable and more confident whenever I wear makeup. I've had skin problems when I was younger. I was bitten in the face by a dog, so I've got scars on my face, and I just feel that bit better whenever I put makeup on. It doesn't have to be makeup. If you don't wear makeup, it's your skincare, it's your moisturizer, whatever you put on your face. But the reason I say to put something on your face is generally whenever you feel better, you will look better, because it comes out of your skin. So if you have in the morning, put your moisturizer on, put whatever you're putting on, your skin will just feel better and you will feel better. For me, it's makeup. I feel if I am going somewhere and I'm going to be interacting with people, I am much more confident whenever I put my makeup on, but you don't have to wear makeup. Ooh! After that interruption, that was tip number 5, to put something on. Number 6 is don't overdo it. There is that saying that we've all heard, that to look in the mirror before you leave and take something off. And that's something that I tried to do because I love colour. I can have a tendency sometimes to overdo it. I can try to put too many accessories on. I can put brooch, because I like things that are a bit jazzy. I can put brooches on. Like if I were to put one of my Chanel brooches on this, it would be too much. So just take a critical look in the mirror and just don't overdo it. Don't overdo the accessories. Don't overdo the bits that you're adding into the outfit, because it can take away from the outfit. A lot of the time simplicity is key, and adding too much can just ruin your look. Number 7 is to look in the mirror before you leave and to follow your gut. Follow your gut instinct. There has been so many times that I have ordered something and I have wanted it to work. I have loved it. I have so wanted it to work. I've wanted it to wear it. I've pictured myself wearing it. Only I haven't pictured myself wearing it. I've pictured what I would love to look like wearing it. And it didn't really work like that. And it's things that I will find then that I've went against my gut instinct. If there's been a voice screaming in there telling me this doesn't work for you, when I have then went against that and worn it out, I have not felt good about myself. And if you don't feel good about yourself, you won't look good, because it comes from how comfortable you feel. So when I've went out and I've thought I really wanted to wear this, but it just doesn't work for me, I have felt very self-conscious in it. And if it's the arms that don't work or this that doesn't work, I'm pulling at it and I'm trying to fix it, and I'm like this all of the time, and that does not add to anybody's look. Number 8, this is one for me, and this may also be a bit controversial, but a big one for me if I want to look better is to wear mascara. Even if I'm not wearing any makeup, even if I'm going out makeup free, when I put mascara on, my eyes will open. The difference, if I were to put mascara on one eye and not on the other, the difference can be quite drastic. I will look like my other eye is kind of not really there, and it just doesn't stand out. Whereas even just now, I don't wear false eyelashes because I don't know how to do them and I can't make them stay. But when I put mascara on, my eyes will just open up. It doesn't even have to be a lot of mascara for going out. Any mascara at all, if I just open my eyes up a bit, I will instantly look better. And I think that's something that probably relates to quite a few people. Number 9, if only I would listen to my own advice, is to avoid your problem areas. My problem area is very much my stomach. If I can step back, I have a stomach. Do you see it? It's a lovely little pot belly. And I've always had a stomach. I have never been one of these people blessed with a perfectly flat stomach. I would love one. I would probably give you this right arm for one, but it's just not going to happen. I have always had a little bit of a pot belly. That's just my shape. Then whenever you add in having 2 children with 2 cesarean sections, it doesn't help, because there's a scar and there's a hang. It hangs, the belly hangs over the scar. Let's be real about it, and it's not great. And even when I lose weight, and I have lost, of the 3 stone I put on, I've lost 2 stone, I have 1 more to lose. Hopefully, hopefully. But even when I've lost weight, I still have a little pot belly. And I assume that if I can get the rest of this off, no, positive thinking, when I can get the rest of this weight off, it's still going to hang over my scar. So I don't think my stomach's ever even going to be as flat as it was once, even though it wasn't perfectly flat. That is my problem area, and I need to avoid it. There are lots of beautiful, stunning, skin-tight dresses across the belly. Bodycon dresses, ones with certain fabrics. I still have things in there that I have bought and convinced myself Spanx will sort it out. Spanx doesn't sort it out. Spanx might smooth it out a little bit, but it doesn't physically take my stomach away. It's still there. So there are things that I still have in there because I really want them to work, but they don't. And I would say just avoid dressing in a way that accentuates or draws attention to your problem area, as well as it being that it may not look your best. Even if objectively you don't have a problem area and it looks absolutely fine, if in your mind you have a problem area, you will be conscious of it. And when you're conscious of it, you're not going to be relaxed. That's going to come out in the way that you look, and it's going to impact not only your look, because you're going to look self-conscious, but it's absolutely going to impact the way you feel. And number 10, is to check your comfort levels before you leave. This is another one that I've fallen foul of so many times because I like the heels, I like the big skyscraper heels, but I can't really walk in them. Or I really like the dress, but because of the Spanx and whatever else is in there, I can hardly breathe, and I'm just like, I just feel so uncomfortable. And the reason that I would say to check your comfort levels before you go, because how you feel obviously isn't how you look, but how you feel is how you look. Even if it looks good with all of the Spanx and it's holding you in, I can't breathe. Even if it looks good, if you're standing perfectly still and not breathing and certainly not eating and not really speaking and looking in the mirror, you will not feel good. By the end of the night, if you get that far, if you have gone out feeling uncomfortable, wearing heels that are uncomfortable, Spanx that are uncomfortable, clothes that are uncomfortable, that is going to come out in the way that you look. You're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to present as not being completely comfortable in how you feel, and that is going to impact on how you look. It is, trust me, because I've been there so many times. Those are 10 tips that I picked up during my journey of how I think that they can help you just look that little bit better whenever you go out and feel better. More importantly, feel better, because how we feel is what it's about, but how we feel impacts on how we look. Very much so, in my opinion. I hope these have been helpful. I hope you find this different type of video entertaining and something that you would like to see more of. I am going to get on to doing some of the styling videos and the unboxing videos of the clothes that have been arriving. Thank you so much for being here as ever. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.